Hi everyone, so today we're gonna talk about the striving to fit in, to be loved, valued, accepted, and just toiling to get a smile or approval of someone who doesn't even care. Compromising our values, principles, morals, and all this at the expense of our own self-respect and well-being. We're gonna talk about the horrors of being too nice, too kind, and how that can bring a host of serious problems, both for your physical and psychological health. Because you can't expect to wear different masks all the time and camouflaging yourself as you go for the sake of others, and not expect devastating consequences and an identity crisis of the worst kind. And in this video, we'll talk about how you can deal with your strong urge to please others, to avoid conflict, and instead develop the ability to speak your truth and not die as a result of that. But before we do that, I'm just going to ask you to subscribe to this channel, because here on this channel, I talk about how you can find your passion and go after it at any age, how you can find balance even at the most difficult times in your life, and how you can be happy with the things and the people you already have surrounding you. So if you're interested, make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Also, give this video a big thumbs up to spread the message. Now, let's get to today's topic. So, point number one is to develop the courage to not be liked by every single person that crosses your path. It is said that if everybody likes you, then you're doing something seriously wrong. You have to stomach the idea that some people will really, truly hate you. You know, they'll have this image about you or story about you that goes against their preference, and they'll hate you for that. But so what? Thank God that they don't have access to where true happiness and peace is located within you, because if they did, then you'd have a serious problem. But they don't. And the idea that you have to be liked by everyone is wrong from the beginning, because what some people like, if you become that, then that is a serious problem right there and then. You should be truly happy that some people find you unattractive, that they find you repulsive because of the things they prefer. Because the things they prefer could be, you know, a person who is timid, a person who is weak and unable to speak their truth, a person who is insecure, and someone who could be at their service all the time. And when you're not like that, they don't want you in their life. Or they could be attracted to gossip, you know, people who gossip, people full of negativity. And when you're not that person, you become boring to them, you become dull to them, and you should be glad that you're that way, because you don't want that negativity and that negative energy in your life. And when you're striving to fit into this kind of standards, you become someone you're not, you become unhappy. You do things that you don't want to do. You say yes to things that you really don't want to do. And you don't want to put yourself in that position because, you know, just because you don't want people to be angry at you or you don't want them to hate you. But, you know, the thing is, you're going to hate yourself for doing that. Every moment that you do things that you don't want to do, that you accept things that you don't want to accept, that you are in an environment that goes against your own values and morals, you hate yourself. That's happening. That's already happening within you. And that is the worst one. The other thing you have to realize is that life is all about creativity and expression. And when you are courageous enough to express yourself in any way, out of the billions of people in the world, someone is bound to be angry. Maybe all you had to say was world peace. And do you know how many people are going to be angry at you for saying that? You don't want to know. So this is the thing. You have to be okay with speaking your truth and not have everyone accept you and not have everyone applaud you. It is okay to not live in fear of making people angry for the way you feel or your opinions. You have to know. It has to be crystal clear to you that no matter what you do, you could kill yourself in the process, but There is no making everyone happy. That doesn't exist. That's not even a goal. That's an illusion, because there is no magic word, phrase, or sentence that you can come up with in order to make people see your good intentions. That's not going to happen, at least not all the time. And if you don't know this, if you're not aware of this fact, you're just going to keep on being nicer and kinder to people and being disillusioned when you don't get the proper response. And honestly, it's so much better to speak your truth and be unsure than to silence yourself and feel like a coward, because that creates more problems in your life. That creates this insecurity, all these sort of feelings you have within you about yourself that are going to affect everything in your life, that are going to affect every area in your life, are stemming from this inability of yours to speak your truth, inability of yours to face people not liking you, to face people not always being or responding to you positively. Okay, so point number 2 is the nicer or kinder you are to people, the more appealing you become to freeloaders, both materially and emotionally. When you have no boundaries with people, freeloaders of all kinds are going to surround you like vultures, or they will guilt you into doing things for them because they know that you can't stand to disappoint them. You must people please, and they are going to take full advantage of this trait of yours. And you would be surprised what the number of people or the kind of people who are willing to do this. You will be surprised that even the people that you think have your best interest at heart are willing to take advantage of your kindness or your niceness. So this is why you have to have boundaries and protect your energy and protect yourself, because if you're just going to keep on, showing that side of yours continuously, even though you're getting hurt, even though you are clearly being taken advantage of, you just keep on doing that, then people are literally going to take you for your word or your actions, and they'll just think that it's okay to take from you. They'll think that it's okay to disrespect you and do things that they wouldn't dare do with others who have boundaries, who have self-respect, and who are unafraid to show their limits with people. They're doing this to you because you are not brave enough or courageous enough to show this or to demonstrate this, because you think that being kind and being nice is the only way with people. But it's not, and you have to know that there's an element of disrespect there. They are disrespecting you even when they're telling you that you are nice, that you're the best person that they ever met, that you're so kind. It doesn't mean that these people are respecting you, and it doesn't mean that they would do the same for you. In fact, you often get the opposite result. You do all this and you receive disregard, flattery, and a clear display of disrespect for your time and effort. And makes you wonder if all your effort was in vain. And unfortunately, some people simply just don't care. They are wired that way, and you don't need to go on studying why they are that way, and you can't change them. It's just the way they are. Maybe it's their experiences in life, it's maybe the hurt that they've experienced, maybe it's just the way they are, and it's not up to you to check on these people and figure out how you can please them. This is actually creating a lot of problems for you. So the best thing to do for you would be to value your time, to value your own energy and efforts, and put it elsewhere where it can yield positive results for you, where it can be fruitful, and where you can actually make something of yourself and be an inspiration to others that way, instead of directly trying to help them or directly trying to show too much kindness that they don't even care for. You have to know that when you are continuously in the state of giving or being nice or being kind, that it loses its value, and people are just going to look at it as something normal, it's not something special. They're more attentive and grateful for the kindness they receive from people who are normally not that way, because that's just human psychology, that's the way we are. So you don't need to be unkind and mean to people. You just need to know your limits and also protect your energy and protect yourself from the vultures who are just going to take advantage of you without even being grateful. Point number 3 is to know that people pleasing is simply either childhood trauma or social conditioning and nothing more. I read a comment under a YouTube video about people pleasing, and it said the reason why we people please is because of the high we get at being the peacemaker that is so addictive. And it's true. You know, maybe you grew up in a chaotic home and you had to be the peacemaker at an early age, or you just had to stay quiet in order to keep the peace, or maybe the society you grew up in simply told you to shut up and obey. Especially if you are a female, maybe you are supposed to just watch your male counterparts speak while you simply nod, or sometimes not even that. And even for the men, maybe you were told to listen to authority, or that you have toxic masculinity, which then robbed you of your God-given assertiveness and expression, which now you have to gain back. You know, this is your natural state of being. You're not going to apologize for having that within you, for God instilling that within you. And just for anyone who's listening, you should be able to express yourself in ways, in whichever way you want. And as long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not imposing anything on anyone, you are supposed to do that. That is actually one of the main reasons why you are here. You are here to create, you are here to express yourself. And if that is stifled, if you are being oppressed in such a way that you're not able to do that, then life becomes meaningless. And this is why a lot of people find life to be meaningless, and they suffer a lot, because they were told from a very young age that it is virtuous to always be kind and people pleasing and be nice and just be at service to others, even when, you know, it's not being reciprocated from the outside world. They are taught this, so it's like a programming that stays with you all throughout your life. And unless you are going to be proactive about it, and unless you're going to see the faults in your character, in the way you are communicating with the outside world, even though it may be painful, it can be, you know, distressing for some people to do this, but you have to do it, even though you feel like you are disappointing people, because you're being disappointed endlessly. You know, you're being disappointed all throughout, and you're not even doing anything about it. And unless you yourself do something about it, the world is just going to take that as your character flaw or not. You know, they're going to tell you you're so nice, you're so kind, and no one will even notice that you're suffering in silence.